pins, but Athena can't answer and shuts down. The next morning, Athena wakes up and takes over the driving so Casey can rest. Athena tells Casey that the person they'll be visiting is called Frank, and once Casey falls asleep, Athena keeps herself entertained by remembering all the good times she used to have with her friend. Hours later, Casey wakes up when she's suddenly pushed off the truck in front of a house in the countryside. Seeing as Athena is driving away, Casey has no choice but to approach the house, only to be chased by a guard dog. Casey trips and falls on the mud, which makes her realize the dog is not leaving prints because it's a hologram. Ignoring the fake beast, Casey knocks on the door and shows her pin to the camera, asking to be taken to Tomorrowland. A sudden burst of air pushes Casey back and an older Frank comes out of the house, demanding to know where Athena is. Hearing she's gone angers Frank and he tells Casey to leave because Tomorrowland is nothing but a manipulative lie. Then Frank returns to his house and locks the door. Casey refuses to leave and waits outside even while it rains. Eventually, she gets tired and looks around to make a plan. By starting a fire on a plowing truck, Casey gets Frank to leave the house, and while he's too busy putting the flames out, Casey runs inside and locks the door. When Frank tries to enter again, Casey just pushes him back with the same burst of air. Casey begins looking around the house, finding all sorts of crazy inventions. One particular machine plays a record of little Frank trying to make Athena laugh, and Athena telling him to stop trying. In another room, she finds a bunch of screens keeping up with the news and a timer that is slowly going down. Suddenly, a secret door under the stairs opens and Frank gets back into the house, ready to kick Casey out, but she convinces him to give her some answers. Frank was kicked out of Tomorrowland for building something he shouldn't have, which is the timer connected to the screens. He wonders if Casey would want to know the date of her death and she says yes, but accepting her death may actually cause it, so she wouldn't believe it because they need to be able to make their own destiny. This statement causes the percentage on the screen to fall, which greatly impresses Frank. Their conversation is suddenly interrupted by the arrival of Dave and his agents, who are actually robots looking for Casey. Frank immediately activates all the metal blinds, and when one robot uses her strength to get inside anyway, Frank uses a tool to electrocute her. Another robot is destroyed by an electrical trap on the wall, and Frank gets rid of two more by making them fall through a secret trapdoor. Then Frank and Casey run to the living room, where one more robot is waiting. Frank fights it hand to hand, and Casey helps him win by grabbing a special portal machine and sticking the robot inside. The duo makes their way upstairs, where more robots fall into the different traps around the house, until Dave catches up to them and holds Frank at gunpoint. Luckily Casey finds a bat and uses it to beat Dave to a pulp. Frank then drags Casey into the bathroom and they jump into the tub, which Frank activates to transform it into a capsule. One more robot comes after them and tries to grab the tub, but at that moment Frank launches it, causing the capsule to fly out and land on the lake. Frank and Casey swim out and enter the woods, where Frank has hidden a bike that won't start. The duo is suddenly startled by a light approaching them, but it's just Athena that came to pick them up. The trio leaves in the truck and as soon as they hit the road, Frank and Athena begin arguing. It's revealed that all pins were supposed to be destroyed, and Athena escaped with the last box of 12 to keep on recruiting people. Frank is furious that more young people have been dragged into this and tells Casey that Athena lied. She doesn't shut down if you ask too many questions, it's just her ignoring you. Frank thinks Athena puts up fake emotions to lure you in and abandon you later.